So a rematch of the Super Bowl, a rematch of Super Bowl 59. The Eagles played against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Um, kind of went as I expected. Um, yeah, probably went as I expected. I mean, some people thought the Eagles were going to blow them out. I didn't expect that. You're playing on the road in Arrowhead, very loud stadium, the loudest stadium in the NFL, according to um, Guinness Book of World Records. And you know, this is your second game, and then with a new offensive scheme, this is Jalen Carter's first game, so the way you structured the defense week one is not necessarily the way you structure your defense for the rest of the season. Um, but a very interesting game nonetheless. First quarter, on the first play, Jalen Hurts lost the ball. Now the weather was terrible, and not in a there was snow, there was rain. It was muggy. It was like 92 degrees. These guys are hot. There was guys cramping throughout the entire game on both sides. It was just a rough game to be a part of. And ultimately, I mean, before the game, I'm thinking this is going to come down to the trenches, and that's what it came down to, the trenches. Some controversy too. So on the first play, Jalen lost the ball. And Grant Calcaterra recovered. I mean, it was pretty obvious the humidity was playing a part already to start the game. Um, Harrison Bucker started the game with a 58-yard field goal that went wide right. And then Saquon did his thing, ran in a 13-yard touchdown. It seems like when Saquon knows what hole when Saquon knows he's got a hole, he gets into another gear. Seeing him, like, you could see when he really loves a gap and a nice blocking assignment, he just goes full speed, and he went full speed, ran in right for a touchdown. Nobody was going to stop him. Um, it was also great to see Saquon score against the Chiefs. I mean, this was something that, I mean, the Chiefs were so worried about Saquon in the Super Bowl that the entire passing offense had one of their best games of all time of the Nick Sirianni era. So they realized for this game, Steve Spagnuolo, one of the best defensive coordinators in the whole league, realized, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should actually focus on everybody else. And they focused more on the pass, but then it resulted in us running more. So that's the gambit that you have to face when you play the Eagles, because we're gonna have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. Goddard wasn't playing in this game, but he was hurt. Jahan Dotson, and then if you stop the pass game, then we got Saquon Barkley, you got Will Shipley. He obviously was hurt. AJ Dillon. Now Tank Bigsby. We got Tank Bigsby, which is weird. Actually, I'll address that right now. When I heard the Eagles traded for Tank Bigsby, I was very confused, and I messaged people. I was like, "We got Tank Bigsby with a question mark." Um, I think Tank Bigsby's awesome. I don't think he fits. I don't know where he fits in terms of our run game, and I've heard that he's going to be used as a returner, and I'm like, we gave up two draft picks, like a fifth and a sixth for Tank Bigsby to be a kick returner. Why? No, don't do that. Why would you do that? Stupid. Um, yeah, very questionable trade. I think Tank Bigsby's a talented running back. Um, I don't even know if he's RB2. I like what Shipley does. And AJ Dillon even saw some carries in this game, and I like what AJ Dillon does. And I mean, I've said this all preseason. If something happened to Saquon, I'm completely fine going with Shipley and Dillon. I think we would do very well with those two. Now with Tank, it's like that's another element that teams have to prepare for. So unless AJ Dillon or Tank Bigsby are gonna play fullback, I don't know, like an old school style of fullback. But I don't know. So, anyways, get back into the game. Second quarter. The only issue for the defense So they had no idea how to stop Patrick Mahomes running. And that was the thing. If you go back to the videos of me preparing for the Super Bowl, I said the one issue we need to focus on is when Patrick Mahomes runs. Because when he runs, it throws off every defense. He could, I mean, he is one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the league. He just chooses not to run because he's so talented at passing the ball and he doesn't need to run. And it puts his body on the line when he runs. So this is a game that just goes to show why he's still the best quarterback in the entire NFL. Um, this was something I worried about for the Super Bowl. Luckily, he didn't run as much. Harrison Butker came in, kicked a 56-yard field goal after missing the field goal earlier. Andrew Mukuba, he's a rookie safety, and in this game, he was covering Travis Kelce. He was trying to tackle Patrick Mahomes, and he was just getting bodied out there. And I felt bad for him. I'm like, dude, you're a rookie. You're playing against two Hall of Famers. Like, this is what I expect in your second game. Um, I don't expect him to dominate, which I mean, later on he got his own. So Patrick Mahomes ran in a 13-yard touchdown, and Jake Elliott, look man, we had a false start on the long snapper. Now this guy's the new long snapper that we got because we didn't re-sign Rick Lovato. Um, so it went from a 53-yard field goal to a 58-yard field goal, and Jake Elliott's still the guy, man. 58-yard field goal from Jake Elliott, 10-10 tie game at halftime. It was actually interesting. Sirianni confronted the ref about the false start, and the ref started getting angry and talking back to Sirianni. I've never seen a ref get heated before, but I saw the ref, whoever he was talking to, and there was another ref who had to get in between of them because I was something I've never seen before. Um, I'd be curious how the NFL responds to that ref. Third quarter, the Chiefs turned the ball over on downs on the opening drive of the second half at the 36-yard line. Eagles really couldn't capitalize, ended up kicking a 51-yard field goal. Then fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes, he had Travis Kelce wide open for a touchdown. Hits Travis Kelce at his hands at the goal line, bounces off his hands and into the hands of rookie safety Drew Makuba, who takes it 41 yards to the Philadelphia 41-yard line. Just awesome job by the rookie, making a statement. I love to see that. And later on in the drive and in the game, Nick Sirianni threw a challenge flag 25 yards. Yes, I had to put that down. That he threw a challenge. I when I was watching it live, I saw a flag come flying out of nowhere into the end zone. I'm like, where the heck did that flag come from? And I had to say that out loud, and I'm like, did Nick Sirianni where did he throw that flag from? He's not even on the screen. And this dude, it was further than any pass that I'd seen Jalen Hurts throw that game. Um, uh, I don't really even remember what he was challenging, but Jalen Hurts ran the brotherly shove for a 1-yard touchdown. Um, Chiefs came back like always. Patrick Mahomes threw a 49-yard touchdown to Tyquan Thornton. Safeties and corners weren't communicating on the play and leaving one-on-one receivers the whole drive. Dory Jackson almost let up I mean, Thornton should have had another touchdown. And Adoree Jackson just completely, I think he hit another player hit him, might have been Reed, Blankenship, or Makuba. But Adoree Jackson, he just continues to struggle. He can't even cover Tyquan Thornton, like really. Um, but ultimately, Eagles ended up winning 20-17. There are there were some issues. Well, I'll get into this. No Dallas Goedert for this game, like I said. It was the most significant part because Goddard did play a big role in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs defense. So you didn't really have someone over the middle of the field to throw to. Um, Especially based off the first game, Goddard was utilized a lot. So it was interesting to see. But also the Chiefs were without Xavier Worthy. So they were both without, and obviously Rashee Rice is suspended. So both teams without offensive starters, but Eagles still won. Some controversy with the brotherly shove. So there was, I mean, it was pretty. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat this or anything, but the guard both guards were false starting on some of the brotherly shoves, and that's where the refs need to pick up the pace and you need to do their job. You need to recognize that both the guards are jumping off sides. So, or false starting. Now, Chiefs players were also lined up offsides. There were so many penalties that could have been called. You could have called offsides on Jurgens. You could have called false start on both guards. You could have called offsides on the defense. You called offsides on the defense one time, but you completely missed the other times. So I didn't think the refs were doing all that great in this game for either team. I just think they missed a lot of calls for both teams, and I think that's the thing. Like you missed a lot of pretty obvious calls. So yeah, that's a ref thing. You gotta call it tighter. Like I'm actually you've never heard me say this. I don't even think anyone's heard me say this, but I'm glad Roger Goodell came out and said he's gonna have the refs call those plays tighter. Good. Do it. Because I don't feel I when the Eagles false start, like I'm like, what do you want me to do about it? Like I have people complaining like you guys are jumping off sides. Like, all right, I don't know what you want me to do. My team's just winning. Like I don't I can't like yeah, of course they're jumping off sides. The ref should call it. So, yeah, just call the plays. As for whether this might be why the play gets banned. Because the refs have no idea how to do it. And here's the issue. So last night in the Bills Dolphins game, Josh Allen tries to kneel the ball, doesn't even have possession of the ball and kneel at the same time, and he just flips it to the ref, and that's how the half ends. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's a live ball. So look, there are some things in football that the refs need to do a better job of, and it's calling those plays tighter. If you're gonna ban the brotherly shove because the refs have no idea how to call it, then maybe ban kneeling. Like that's crazy. You gonna ban like bunch formations because you can't see certain players? Like you are you gonna ban certain inside goal line formations because you can't see certain players? No. So but it might end up getting banned just because of the discourse. I'm just so tired of the discourse. You, let's be honest. The rest of the league just can't do it as good as the Eagles. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I believe the Bills can be better. I believe the Bills can be better than the Eagles at doing this. It's just for some reason Josh Allen tries to like show his athleticism jumping instead of pushing. And he's no one to push him. You gotta get in and push. The tush push for a reason. Um and I mean some teams are doing good, but the Eagles are just great at it. And other teams are doing this and doing it effectively, just not anywhere near as effective as the Eagles have been doing it. I mean, we get into 1 yard line and short, and I'm like, I already know what the play call is because it's a really smart play call. And you know what my gut feeling is? If they ban this play, the Eagles are just going to figure out a different way of doing it. What, because like in the discourse surrounding the wordage of how it would be banned was so interesting that it would ban other plays. Um, that the Packers had proposed, and I'm like, this is interesting because if you ban this, you ban a lot of other plays that a lot of other teams have done over the course of NFL history, and a lot of plays that have won games for teams. So if you, the wordage was so interesting, and I'm like, there's a very easy way for the Eagles to go around this. And I can't wait. If you ban the brotherly shove, you ban the tush push, whatever you want to call it. Um, I know the Eagles already have a way of figuring it out. So yeah, that's it. The Eagles are going to be hosting the Rams. The Eagles are wearing white jerseys and green pants for the first time first time at home since 2013, I think they said. Michael Vick days. Um, and first time in 10 years against the Rams that they're wearing white at all. It was when we wore all white against the St. Louis Rams at the time. That was 10 years ago. Deshaun Jackson was still on the team. Well, sorry, Deshaun Jackson played a very long time with the Eagles. Um, and yeah, playing the Rams. Saquon has gone nuts the last two times they played the Rams. But here's the thing. I actually want the Rams to like focus on the run so that the pass offense can see what they can do. Because yeah, some people are saying that Kevin Patullo is not doing a good job play calling, but look, you just played against the Cowboys, a new different Cowboys without Micah Parsons. Um, you and the Cowboys defense is an okay defense. Also a division rival, so the teams know each other. The Eagles offense doesn't really know the defense in a while since without Micah Parsons. And you're playing against the Chiefs with Steve Spagnuolo. Nola. Nola? Nola. I don't know. Um, and I expected that. I expected this. The offense is playing efficient. We're beating the Cowboys and we're beating the Chiefs without the need to pass for 300 yards and four touchdowns. We don't need to do that. We don't even need Saquon to go for 150 yards and we're still winning these games. They're closer than we'd like it to be, but it's efficient. It's an efficient offense right now. I don't care if Jalen's not throwing the ball deep. I don't care. I know he can throw the ball deep, but I'd rather him play efficient. If this is if this is how the Eagles can win their third Super Bowl, I don't I don't care how they do it. And all you statisticians out there, I'm a statistician. So, but all of you people who love the stats, you probably hate the Eagles. You probably hate them because you're not them. And you look at like offenses like the Bengals, obviously Burrow's hurt, so Burrow's not going to be back until maybe December or January. But healthy, you look at what the Bengals did last year. Historically great offense, but terrible defense. And here's the issue. If you score fast enough and you keep scoring and scoring and scoring, eventually your defense is going to get tired. You need to play an efficient style of offense. This is how all of professional football history has looked. That if you don't turn the ball over and are still efficiently driving down the ball and driving down the field and scoring, that's how you win games. That's how you not only win games, that's how you win Super Bowls. So look, I don't care. I don't care what Jalen Hurts passes for. And Chris Jones was saying at the end of the game, Jalen was like, "Dude, we won the game." Now, obviously, they both added some words in there, but um, yeah, Jalen does not care how. He just wants to win. Saquon, same thing. He just wants to win. These guys just want to win. That's all they want to do. They don't care about the stats. And some players care about the stats. This team doesn't. That's a selfless team, and That's why they ended up winning the Super Bowl last year, and that's why that's why they're 2-0 right now because they don't care how they do it, but they'll do anything to try and win the game. So, with that being said, the Eagles play the Rams. Um, I had this as a win. The Rams are a very good team still. Stafford has been playing very efficient. Definitely not the Stafford of old, not the Stafford of like 4 years ago, but he's still playing efficient. You still got to be weary of him. You're playing against Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, so you have two very good route runners, very good footwork, very good hands, very strong receivers. Ideally, I'd like Quinion on Devontae and Cooper on Puka. If somehow I see a Dory Jackson on that field, oh, it'll probably be the last time we see a Dory Jackson. And yeah, you got to be weary of Kyron Williams. But I trust that front seven to do its job against Kyron Williams. And then defensively, you got to be worried about really their whole front seven. Their secondary, they just put Akella Witherspoon on IR, so they're going to see Emmanuel Forbes on AJ Brown, and we know the last time we saw that, oof. So yeah, I'm really excited to play the Rams again. Especially like the Rams still look like they're a playoff contender. So, with that being said, I will see you next week when I review the Rams and Eagles. So, until then, go Eagles.